Hi guys, Tanya from 4Girls Jewelry with another tutorial. It's Tuesday again and I'm excited to share some rings that I made. Even if you follow my tutorial, they will be one of a kind because each time you wrap it, you can wrap a little bit different, which is amazing because same concept but tons of different rings. Let's see what we need for that project. So we do need our mandrel. If you have it, I like the metal one. You can see how used it is because that one is my original and I still work on it. I try not to beat where the numbers are because it's so destroyed now. So I usually beat on the other side, but I still work on it all the time. So I will work today with the copper. People ask me about, you guys always ask about wires. And I also work with the sterling silver, and usually when I order from Rio Grande. I like their wires. So for the thick wires, like 19 gauge, I have here 14 gauge. Let's see what else I have here. I have 16. All kinds of gauges that I order from them. The thick wire, I always order half hard. So you can see half hard. I like that. I like that because then I don't need to work harden too much with the wires. They are prepared for me to make links, to make little bones, whatever I want to use. But for the weaving wire, when I order, I usually order that soft. So this is like I order 24, 26. It's my favorite ones. I do have 28 and 30. I have all kinds of gauges, but I find that when I work with my rings or any projects, I usually pick up most like 18, 16 gauge and 24 or 26 for the weaving. I don't know why that's my favorite ones, but everybody have the preference, right? So that I quickly want to answer that because I received again a couple emails and couple like question about wires where I order them and what kind I order. So that's my favorite. That's soft for the weaving and have hard for structural wires, Okay, so you work today with the copper because I would always encourage to work with the copper. It's cheaper material, and then if you like it, you can work later, make the same stuff with your sterling silver. We will use also a bead. I prepare that, so I put the bead and I use my torch and torch it on both ends. You don't have to. Some of the rings that I have, they even don't have that. Like I just twist it like in this piece. I just twist it around. You will see later what I mean. But I use torch anyway because we will try to do this messy, and I will use anyway my torch to do that because I like still to have a little bit of those little sort of look like a beads at the end, but it's optional. You can just wrap it around and if you still afraid of torch. Okay, let's see. So we needed your mandrel and your wire. This will be a messy ring, a ring that everybody can do, I promise. So you just go around your mandrel. Later, when you use your hammer, you can push it to the sides, like you can make it larger. So when I just do like a 2, I will take a little bit from the mandrel and just push my wire somewhere like here. So it's a 1. So now we have 3 wires, right? 3 wires, 3 rounds. Go again, 1 more. I like 5. So we twist, we go under somewhere here. So just go a little further and then do the same thing again. So like under Okay, so we have, and I would love to do one more. So there's one more, and then I pick up where I want it. If I want to do right away on the beginning somewhere, because I don't like when it twists a couple times in the same area. I don't like that, so I do randomly in random places. Just go under one wire. Up. So we have like a big mess, looking like a big mess, right? That's it. So that's what we needed. And you cut your wire. You can leave longer, not really crazy long, but about that much. When you take it from your ring mandrel, then what we have this. So one wire will go from inside, like in the middle of the ring, right? And then the other side will be where we started. So it's like go like this. So what we need to do, go through any of the wires. You can use pliers, just squish it a little bit and put it somewhere. All we need to do, we have to have 2 wires that go in the middle from your project. Put it on the mandrel. Looks very messy. That's where I use my torch. I would encourage you guys to work with the fire because you need that. You need your wires to be soft for this project. So that's what you will have. After you use your torch, it's exactly the same. 2 things coming from inside. You make your little access bead here with the torch, and you put on your back on your mandrel. Now I want to make a little room for my bead, so I will take any of the pliers and just make it a little bit, because right now wire is so soft because you use the heat, and it's pleasure to work with that. So pliable, so soft. So all you have to do, like a little window, sort of like a make little area where you can attach your bead, because see, that's it. You can see from the other side. Yeah, so any kind of bead you want, you can use. Before we attach, I like to hammer it, but I will hammer only this area. So just take your time. It doesn't have to be a lot of strokes there, you know, but it just, I like it when it's like flat before I even start working with my bead. So that's what we have right now. Use any bead you like, and I use my heat, then quench it in the water, then I use for another side, and same, quench it in the cold water. That's what you will have. Like I said, you don't have to do it because you can just nicely wrap it around and it could be like that, but I like it. I like that there is something extra. And now we need 24 gauge wire for herringbone stitch. So I will use about 4 rounds around the bead. So start from one corner, 1, 2, cut my excess, nicely tuck it in, so will not scratch on anything. So we have wire sitting like that, and there we started. So it's 1, 1, 1, going around the bead, right? Then we do one more time, 2. We count as 2. Each time I put wire behind the first layer. 3, and I like 4. So we have one more. We have one more. Okay, 4. Then I just one extra time, and I cut. Please tuck your wires nicely, so it will be very, very nicely done. And we have our bead done for our project. So yes, we like in the other, like some rings, I would extend to the, like I will make the first layer of the wires that comes here. I will open up a little bit more to set your, so that's, you know, if you wanted to, you can just push it a little bit, you know. They are so soft, you can do that, because we didn't hammer it yet, anything, just these. So they're still pliable, they're still soft. So you can also, if you want to move these, like I said, each one that you make, each ring will be totally different if you wanted to. You can also make as close as possible, but I like that with one idea I can make different rings, and it's so cool. So we now wanted to attach that to the frame. So we have one. I will go on the other side just to make sure it could be in the beginning when you do first one, maybe it will be annoying, but the more rings you do, it's very fast. Okay, so we have here so here is the one side, and we will go back to the same first one and also wrap it. Don't rush. Oops. Okay, we have that. Now let's see on the mandrel. Because wires are pliable, you can now play with the wire. You can push them, make that nice curve here. See, like in this. It just before you hammer it, you want it just to make them sit nice. Let's see another side. Same like this. Then you just, and the wire that we have here, I like to put one, like if I go around, then we have opening here, so I will go all the way down here, and I like when that little thing is somewhere visible. Okay, all the way to the top. If you want, you can also hammer this wire a little bit before you attach, or make it, I like organic shape, so I like to make it sort of organic a little bit. The same with this wire. We will go on the other side, just like we hug this side, we will hug the other side, and same, we can go under this wire, the one that's on the opposite. Right, so that this is totally up to you. You can play with your ring how you want it. and put that little bead to the top. So you have 2 and 2. Some rings, because I have a lot of leftover wires, I would just attach more if I wanted to with a little torched end and just twist it around, you know. Now will be time when we just put this ring on back on the mandrel, and we will use a rubber mallet and just nicely lock the shape. And you want to flatten it, everything. I would not recommend to use the other hammer like this one, because we have wires that go around each other, so you don't want to weaken them up. You just but with this, it's perfect. You know, you can hammer even stronger, but that will not damage the wire, you know. And that's how I make my sort of crazy rings. I want to show you the finishing that I did. So in this, it's the same idea, just I didn't use the herringbone stitch here. I just put, because that bead has a little drilled right there. So I go with the wire, make the little loop, make the opening, just put the bead, and then try to make it something like a wires like shaped like around the stone. Also I did, so all those I made the same, it's the same idea, you know. Also same, it was a round, and I use herringbone stitch, but just like 2 layers. Same. And I was playing and tried to make a pendant that will match. So I made this exactly same way, but I use size sort of 15, the last one, or any object that you have like big. So you wrap it, you make exactly same, you put the little bead inside, then I cut here, I remove it from mandrel and cut, and I tuck all the ends randomly. Like I just was playing with that, like moving on one side, and just you can tell it's a big mess, looking like a big mess in the beginning, but then you squish it a little bit and it can look like something from a sea. I feel like it can match with my crazy rings, you know. You can also use a little torched pieces of wires. I didn't use here, I just used everything that was here, but you can add them. You can add a little somewhere and just twist with the thinner wires maybe. You know, this idea could be expand to a totally different project. I guess that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoy and you can make amazing rings, and I promise they will be a big hit when you do the shows. Thank you guys for watching. Any questions, leave in the comment below and I will be excited to answer. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for staying with me. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, and see you next Tuesday.